play in the sand. And it's beautiful, wasn't it? And perhaps some of us only went in half a day and then we went home. And perhaps that was sometimes special for us if we're from a big family where that was just our time with our mum or our dad or our grandparents. But I do know out there today, some of us wouldn't have had that, would they? So we have to remember we're from all walks of life, aren't we? But we hope those who didn't have that still had someone who cared. And love shows us, doesn't it, that it doesn't always have to be someone related to us. Some people out there could have been loved by a stranger who wishes that they had became that person's mum or dad. And that's beautiful, isn't it? And how many of us perhaps were brought up by our grandparents? And that's why the link from the spirit world is so strong. How many of us wanted our grandparents to be our parents? And that's true also, isn't it? Because even though we talk about love, we don't always get on with our families. And that's why they say we can't choose our families, but we can choose our friends. But being spiritual, it gives us that insight, doesn't it? That even if we don't get on with our families, that's not going to stop them from coming back. The amount of communicators that come through an instrument, a medium, looking to say sorry or forgiveness. But of course, that's not wanted. And it's our job as mediums to learn not to push that, is to react with the recipient. But it's lovely that recipient normally speaks up. But what do we do in that situation? Because obviously we're taught that this is a spiritual thing, isn't it? It's a politeness. The medium can't just turn around and say, they don't want you, off you go. But it's nice then for the medium to link in and perhaps just bring a message of upliftment, or to say, I know you don't want to receive me, but I won't stop trying. So that's important too, isn't it? And that's important in our lives today for people that perhaps cause us conflict and grief, is always to keep that love flowing. Because there is toxicity in our lives, isn't there? And we do learn, don't we, as we grow spiritually, that sometimes we have to let things go within us. Let things go, let people go. As hard as it is, because every time we allow them into our lives, we become drained, don't we? We become feeling down, maybe even depressed. And how many of us who have had to do that feel that lightness? Because then that's taking those blinkers off, isn't it? And understanding our needs, understanding that we're here to live and to be happy. So as we go from that, it's also about putting those lenses of love on, isn't it? To find that courage and that bravery, to find who we are, to find that we have a voice, even if we're timid or shy, that our opinion matters, that there are people out there like us. And you don't have to agree, but isn't it lovely that the star signs play a part in our lives? Some of you may disagree, but for me, as soon as I find out anybody's a Virgo, that's why I get on with these people. That's why I resonate with them. And that's a lot of star signs, isn't it? I was in a household of Cancerians, but if you read the log, a Virgo and a Cancerian shouldn't mix. Well, quite rightly, the marriage didn't survive, but I've got two Kanzarian children and I'm with another Kanzarian lady. So something must work for me, mustn't it? But how many of you, if you look at that, realize why you get on with someone so well? But isn't it lovely also that we take that away aside and we get on with people who we shouldn't within the star signs? And do you know why that is? Because we're all joining together as one, aren't we? We come to the center, we come on Zoom because we all get each other, because we all have one thing in common, that we know of the spirit world. We know of this beautiful world where we go after our physical bodies die. And it brings us that excitement, doesn't it, weekly, for us to come together, come in with problems, but to come into that energy. And once we're in that energy, not only of the spirit world, but us all, because we know we are spirit within. And isn't it lovely then that environment changes? We feel so alive again. We even perhaps leave the end of the service forgetting that we have problems. It may only be for 10 minutes, an hour, but isn't it beautiful that we've had that moment where we felt the divine? And that's important, isn't it? Because spiritualism is about our Father God, Mother Earth, Mother God, however we perceive this great energy. And even if we haven't been touched with a communicator, isn't it beautiful that we have all been touched with the essence of spirit? You cannot deny, can we, that feeling that we have when we sit on our own, when we join together, when the spirit is close. And it's beautiful, isn't it? It just makes us feel as though we can do anything. And it reminds us to be children within, to be children of the Great Spirit. And that's beautiful, isn't it? That all happens when we're open and we allow ourselves to link. And it's lovely today that each and every one of us are here for different reasons. Some of us are here because of the faith element. Some of us are here, sadly, because of the grief. Some of us are here because we're sad. Some of us are just searching. Where do we fit within this world? We welcome everybody because we work under that creed. We have no creed or dogma. And that's beautiful, isn't it? The spirit world will welcome any of us, of any religion, of any faith today. If they want to communicate, they will. Isn't that beautiful? We don't put any restrictions, do we? You're not welcome because we can't talk to you because the spirit world don't care. They're here to say hello, look at the memories, perhaps give us a telling off. Because do you know what? Most people in the spirit world, we will only take a telling off from, won't we? We struggle on the earth plane, and yet that communicator will come through because they don't change, do they? If they were like that when they were here, of course they're going to come back. And perhaps that's the only person we'll accept. We won't like it, but we know it's true, don't we? But they also bring that upliftment, don't they? They also bring to say to us that what we're doing makes a difference. We all get quite stuck in this sometimes, I can't think of the word now, mundane world, don't we? Getting up, waking up, washing, breakfast, work. And it's a cycle, isn't it? But that's when it's lovely to know at the end of the week that we have worship, we have fellowship. And holidays are great too, aren't they? But how many of us who do holiday wake up early? On a Monday morning, it's the biggest struggle for me in the world to wake up to go to work. And yet when we go on holiday or Saturday morning, why are we awake at 6:30 in the morning? but yet we could sleep in on the Monday. I'll leave that with you. That's something that I've got to find. But it shows, doesn't it, that life can be wonderful because of the world, the nature, Mother Earth, the animals, and of course, who surrounds us. And for those perhaps who have no one left and we're surrounded by ourselves, it's up to us to see, to take those blinkers off, to see that beauty that Mother Earth offers us. A lovely walk, isn't it? Perhaps going down to the river, lake, the park, and absorbing people's energies. And that's where we come into our own, isn't it? Smiling, having a chat. And I know I've said before that can be sometimes not accepted. What's this weirdo talking to me for? I don't know them from Adam. But we have to keep doing it, don't we? Because that makes someone's day. And it's special, isn't it? And that's where our animal kingdom come in, even if we don't own them, to be around them. They all have their special healing ability, don't they? And that's so powerful. And that's why I love when I see the dogs on the telly at the airports, etc., doing those jobs. They're as nutty as a fruit loop, aren't they? But they've got that extra power, haven't they? They've got that sensory to sense far more than we'll ever know. And it's beautiful, isn't it? And a lot of them also sense the lovely spirit world, don't they? A lot of you can tell stories where your animal knows when the spirit's close. And then we get annoyed because we don't sense, do we? But that's because they have that super skill. But you know, I'm being empowered now just to say it's not just what I'm talking about is the dogs. I've got birds coming into my vibration now that they play a part. Budgerigars, parrots. It's amazing. They don't want to be forgotten because they're telling me that every creature has a purpose, doesn't it, on this earth plane? We might not like some of them, but they're not here to be liked, are they? Perhaps they're here to do a job for Mother Nature. And don't get me started about wasps. I personally love them, but my wife does not see the point of them, or pigeons. And the much as I Google and tell her the good that they do, it falls on deaf ears. But they have a purpose. And I don't know where we're going with this, but you've got to remember in the wars, the pigeons played a part as messengers. They got into places, didn't they, where humans couldn't. And they came back again. And perhaps that's because that's within them. So we have to remember that they're descendants of something powerful, aren't they? Helping us to bring victory. I can't say that of wasps, can I? But I have Googled, and just for you, those who think they're pesky, apparently they do a lot of good. They start at the season, but apparently they get bored, and that's why they come and want sugar from us under a pain. So perhaps they're too efficient in their lives, and then we have to pick up this peskiness. So just remember that next time when you're not happy or they've stung you, just think they're here for a purpose. And we have to remember that every human being, as annoying as we all are in our own ways, are here for a purpose. Every human being touches someone in this world, don't they? Every one of us who are called special by our partners are special for a reason. And it's just about finding, isn't it? And that's what love does. It's about finding the right person that loves you for you with all your traits. And that's a tricky one, isn't it? Because it's interesting, isn't it? Relationships and love, it's almost as though we're still as annoying as ever, but when we're loved, that's accepted, isn't it? But it's interesting, when we're not loved, those traits come out more, don't they? And I just want to leave that with you. It's quite interesting that we love people with all their faults, etc. But when something changes, that becomes evident. But of course, none of us really change, do we? We learn to adapt, which is interesting, isn't it? Because if we changed, that would take away us, wouldn't it? Our spirit. And that's one just for you to look upon for those of you who have been married a long, long time, how you deal with your time, how you banish perhaps people to the shed, to the greenhouse, how you banish yourself to the craft room. But it shows, doesn't it, that it works. So it's just about embracing who we are. And Barbara did say in her glasses, isn't it? It's about that split second. I just want to leave now. How many of us have forgotten that split second in our lives? And words do damage people forever, don't they? And it's quite interesting when Barbara read that bit, how mindful when we start our spiritual journey that we become of that we can't take those words back, can we? And you know what? It's just really good that people can't read our thoughts, isn't it? I know we can, but you imagine the split second we don't say anything, but in our heads, we're having this conversation, aren't we? So we are very fortunate that our minds can't be read, but we're fortunate to have that split second as words can change someone's outlook. They can do internal damage as we've been damaged ourselves. So it's lovely that we must remember that ability. But I do believe that where we are today, we learn to be bigger and better than that, don't we? We don't need to say those things because perhaps we've had them said to us. We just need to love. And I want to end the philosophy to say, even though we spoke about love, love sometimes is very hard to give, isn't it? Others, if we don't get on with them, if they don't resonate with us. And I believe that's our challenge, is to love. We cannot change who they are, but we can give them love. And that changes the whole energy. Thank you.